Hey everyone, finished watching the next episode of Samurai, the Blue and the Gold. At a park, some kids' toys are going missing, with only some goo left behind. At the Shiba house, Antonio reveals the Claw Zord. It was damaged years ago. Mentor gave it to Antonio to repair it. Kevin doesn't like that Antonio used technology to fix it. Aren't the Zords technology? Octoroo is out in the forest. He has a new plan: have a new monster steal kids' toys, and their tears will fill up a well on Earth with Sanzu River water. With this well, monsters won't have to return all the way to the Netherworld. At the Shiba house, Antonio plants spy cameras all around to study Kevin. In the Netherworld, Dayu finds Decker. She recalls when he saved her. She wonders if he did it because he remembers her. That night, Octoroo's Nylok steals Bulk and Spike's stuffed panda Sammy. Antonio spends the next day watching Kevin. He follows him on a jog. Kevin hears something suspicious and reveals he's known what Antonio was doing all along. They investigate the noise, but Kevin doesn't think Antonio is taking things seriously. By the well, Octoroo plans to have his Nylok Antberry break the toys and throw them down the well. Kevin and Antonio try to call for backup, but a force field blocks their signals. Suddenly, Octoroo attacks. They morph and try to fight back, but Antberry sprays them with slime, causing them to slip and slide. Octoroo's Power Rangers exclusive suit pops in here. His tentacles are awkwardly spread apart so we can see his mouth. Sometimes it moves, sometimes it doesn't. He seems pretty mad for someone talented enough to talk with their mouth closed. Antonio hurts his arm. Kevin tells him to hide, but Antonio disobeys and helps Kevin. He tells him he wouldn't have asked the others to hide, he only asked him because he doesn't think of him as a true samurai. Kevin understands and accepts Antonio. Even if his methods are different, he's still a samurai. At the Shiba house, the Rangers notice Kevin isn't back from his jog and go out to look for him. In the forest, Kevin and Antonio encounter Moogers. Antonio gives Kevin a shred of cloth. If he ties his sword to his wrist, the slime won't cause him to drop it. Kevin and Antonio stop Octoroo and Antberry from breaking any toys. The rest of the team join, and together they destroy Antberry. Octoroo retreats. Antberry comes back giant, but gets defeated for good by the Megazord. The Rangers sort through the stolen toys and return them. Spike is overjoyed to have Sammy back. This episode is really good, but as usual, there's a little bit that comes off pretty awkward. Kevin really doesn't have any reason not to accept Antonio. If Kevin can accept Mike, he can most certainly accept Antonio. Besides that forced nonsense, everything else is pretty good. Octoroo's plan is clever, and it shows the bad guys aren't just remaining complacent, they're actively trying new things. The bad guys are trying new things, while Kevin would be content to stay in the past. I'm not sure if that was an intentional parallel, but it's what I see. Bulk and Spike aren't necessary to the plot, but I like that they were included, especially since it's established they have a toy that's important to them. It adds some additional weight to Octoroo's plan. I think this episode is the first time we see Octoroo's Power Rangers exclusive suit. For some reason, the original suit for Octoroo's counterpart wasn't sent over, so a new one was made. It's mostly pretty good. The colors are slightly different, but what really stands out is the face. Octoroo's mouth is usually covered by tentacles, but here they're pushed to either side, and he has a mouth that actually visibly moves. It's pretty weird and doesn't fit with the Japanese footage. It reminds me of when Turbo would try to splice in footage of Rygog with Dynamo. They look similar, but with a few extreme differences. The monster of the day, the awkwardly named Antberry, was voiced by Barney Duncan, who previously played Piggy in SPD and Toby in Mystic Force. When Octoroo calls him by names, it sounds like he's addressing an ant named Barry. We get some bits with Dayu and Decker here, and some little hints to who they are. They were both human once and knew each other in some way. Dayu had an obsession with brides, and Octoroo once said she was stuck in the past. Could Dayu have been a bride to Decker? In Shinkenger, there's a couple funny differences. The Gold Ranger doesn't plant spy devices to study the Blue Ranger. He disguises himself as one of the Kurokos, the black-garbed helper guys. The villain's plan wasn't to steal toys, it was to kidnap and murder a bunch of girls. I actually prefer the toy-stealing plot. There's a couple of times in Shinkenger where I feel the story is fine, but it went further than necessary. Power Rangers feels more in line with what the bad guys are usually doing. Another instance of something like this would be back in Deal with a Nylok, where the monster lies to the kid about getting his father back. And that's it, that's where it ends. In the Japanese version, it's the same thing, but on top of that, the monster also tells the kid to jump off a building. It just kind of feels unnecessary, though it does make the monster more memorable. The Blue and Gold Rangers get far more time to build up a bond with each other. Over here, Kevin and Antonio get along much quicker. Shinkenger takes its time, Power Rangers rushes it. This time around, not much too different. The target of the villains is the most different, and I actually prefer Samurai's take. Kidnapping and murder just feels a bit too jarringly extreme for either series. So that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.